he couldn't pull the trigger like we wanted him to. So it's boxing. So hats off to Conor Benn and his team. They did a great fucking job.
I think he's a good trainer. I don't think he's a strong trainer. And when I say that is as in strong. Put your foot down. Don't take no shit from anybody else outside the camp. That's where he's not strong. I think he's a very smart trainer, and he gets it.
I think it's regrettable, but again, that's their choice. I got my views on it, but that's it.
Chris Eubank Jr.'s coach just ended contract with Chris Eubank Jr. after brutal loss from Conor Benn, and it's clear the frustration runs deep. Chris gave everything he had, but Benn's advantage, both physical and controversial, overshadowed Eubank's skill. The coach's decision reflects not a lack of talent, but the harsh reality of a fight where preparation met unfair circumstances, leaving Chris in a position no fighter wants to be.
I said, man, fuck it, we bored. We doing it for the legacy. You know what I'm saying? So,
Balmic highlights a crucial point. Conor Benn's early energy surge might not last the full fight, but Chris Eubank Jr. was already struggling due to extreme weight cuts and exhaustion. This imbalance made the bout less about skill and more about who could handle the physical strain, putting Chris at an unfair disadvantage.
I'll be able to sustain throughout the fight. Watch. And he usually slows down between 6 and 7. You slow down, that's a fuck.
Johnny Nelson makes an important point. Chris Eubank Jr.'s integrity and sportsmanship have been exploited in the ring. His defeat doesn't reflect his skill or heart. Chris still has everything it takes to bounce back stronger, and his talent deserves recognition despite being outmaneuvered by a more ruthless opponent.
I think some people take advantage of his weakness, of being a nice guy, and I think that's what's happened right now. That debacle of, and I understand what he's trying to do.
Duke McKenzie highlights how much Chris's coach understands him, both mentally and physically. Ending the partnership now could destabilize Chris just as he recovers from a tough loss. Despite the setback, Chris' talent and heart remain, and keeping this knowledge in the corner could be key for his next comeback.
He knows the kid inside out. Yeah. He knows how he works. He knows all the mechanics behind that kid and how to motivate and get the best out of him. We've seen it. And to get rid of him now at this point, I think it's a bad move.
Frank Warren shares his perspective on why fighters shouldn't keep changing trainers. Frank Warren's words hit hard on the realities of boxing. Constantly switching trainers can disrupt a fighter's rhythm and confidence. Chris Eubank Jr. has the talent and skill, but losing stability in his corner after Benn exposes him to unnecessary challenges. He still has the tools to bounce back stronger.
I don't know. I mean, I don't like fights keep jumping and changing trainers. I don't like that. I like fights to be settled. But, it is what it is. It is what it is. I mean,
Dominic Ingle captures the unfair side of boxing now. Coaches often take the blame for situations beyond their control. Chris Eubank Jr.'s team made the right decisions, but the criticism should fall on the circumstances of the fight, not the men who guided him. Chris remains a fighter with heart and potential.
Boxing. They choose you. Fighters choose you. Then they use you to get where they need to be. Then they accuse you when everything goes wrong. And when they've left and gone somewhere else, then they start to abuse you by doing interviews, slagging you off. And that happens more times than it.
Gareth Davies points to stability and fundamentals. Chris Eubank Jr. thrives under structured, disciplined training. While the split with Balmic is significant, finding the right guidance to balance technique and mental focus is crucial. Chris' ability to bounce back depends on smart coaching, not just raw talent.
It's gone there. Yeah. Tony will bring him old school values. He won't tinker with him too much.
Johnny Nelson defends Chris Eubank Jr.'s character, emphasizing that being too nice isn't a weakness. Chris showed heart in the ring, and the challenges he faced were external. With the right mindset and support, Chris can rebuild, proving that talent paired with resilience can overcome any setback.
I think the only thing he did wrong was not being strong enough to put his foot down. But he wasn't in a position to do that. And I think financially, now hopefully he's in a position that if he gets a fight coming through, the rules are, I'm the trainer, I'm the coach, you stay out there, this is my job. If you've hired me to do a job, let me do our job, keep out of it. So his only crime is being too nice.
Virgil Hunter makes a fair point. Chris Eubank Jr. has every right to make choices he believes are best for his career. Trainers come and go, and while losing Bamik is a shock, it doesn't erase Chris' talent or heart. He remains a fighter with great potential. And this change could even give him fresh perspective, new strategies, and renewed motivation. As a boxing fan, it's crucial to separate loyalty from performance. The split doesn't define him, his resilience does. Chris has shown he can overcome setbacks, and with the right team, he can return stronger and smarter in his next fight.
He knows why he's doing it. More kudos to him. It's his career, and he's got that right to change teams. You know, coaches change teams all the time. Fighters come and go and everything. If he feels like that's the best move for his career, then more kudos to him. I support that.
Eddie Hearn reminds us that Chris Eubank Jr. has a history of learning from various trainers and environments, which can sharpen a fighter's skills. While parting ways with Bamik is a blow, it also opens doors for growth and adaptation. Chris is talented, disciplined, and mentally tough. By training under new coaches, he can refine his strategy, address weaknesses, and gain fresh insights. The split doesn't signal failure, it could be the spark that reignites his career. Fans should focus on his potential and determination, not just the loss. Chris has the ability to come back stronger than ever.
But this isn't the first time he's gone into different environments to learn from different people, and you know, obviously, if that's the case, great people to learn from as well.
Duke McKenzie highlights a crucial point. Chris Eubank Jr. went into that fight drained and struggling with weight, which affected his performance. Despite this, he remains a fighter with incredible skill and determination. Losing under such conditions doesn't define him. It shows he was fighting at a physical disadvantage. Fans and analysts must remember that talent and heart still exist, and Chris can recover, rebuild, and come back with smarter preparation. The split with Bamik might hurt initially, but it also creates an opportunity for Chris to reset, work with new strategies, and reclaim his best form.
I did tip Eubank to win this return fight. But, however, you know, the whole world knows now, he can't do the weight. He looked an absolute shell. He wasn't even a shell. He looked decimated going into that fight. Just looked like a bag of bones. The minute he did his ring walk, or once I saw him take his gown off, I realised from that point...
Duke McKenzie points out a critical reality that many casual fans overlook. Chris Eubank Jr. went into that fight battling not just a top opponent, but the extreme physical toll of weight cutting. This wasn't just about losing a fight. It was about the unseen strain on his body and mind. Cutting weight, maintaining energy, and trying to perform at peak levels can take a severe psychological and physiological toll. Despite this, Chris still showed determination and heart, proving he's not just a fighter but a warrior. Fans need to appreciate the resilience he demonstrated, because setbacks like these don't define him, they refine him. The split with Bamik may add to the narrative, but Chris' talent, strategy, and spirit remain intact. This fight is a lesson in perseverance, and Chris can use this experience to come back stronger, smarter, and better prepared for his next challenge.
Conor Benn's not great, but he did a job on Eubank, and I shouldn't say I feel sorry for Eubank. I only feel sorry for him because I know the pain he's had to go through to make the weight. However, 10 million quid will make you feel a lot better the next day, but you want to be able to live to spend that money. The truth is, nobody knows the damage that's been done, physically or even psychologically, the long-term damage that would have been done.
Dominic Ingles' analysis shines a light on a harsh but fair reality. Chris Eubank Jr. wasn't able to deliver his best performance. But let's be clear, this wasn't due to a lack of skill, heart, or preparation. Chris faced extreme physical and mental challenges leading into this fight. Cutting weight at such a high level takes a massive toll on stamina, explosiveness, and overall fight readiness. When your legs aren't fully there, Even the most talented boxers can't showcase their true abilities. Chris' dedication to training and willingness to take on a tough opponent like Conor Benn shows his courage and professionalism. Fans who understand boxing know that a single fight never defines a fighter's legacy. Chris has the intelligence, skill, and experience to study the setback, adapt, and come back stronger. This loss is a stepping stone, not a ceiling, and it will fuel him for bigger, more dominant performances in the future.
For me, the fight didn't live up to the expectations. I'm extremely underwhelmed how they've pulled that off. Very, very, very poor fight. Disappointing. It came alive in the last round. That's it. The last round it happened, and Conor Benn got the win. Rightly so. But Eubanks tonight didn't turn up. Old overnight. His legs weren't in it.
Adam Smith's observation is accurate. Chris Eubank Jr. didn't display his usual fluid movement, and Conor Benn was sharp with his jab and body work. But that flatness wasn't due to a lack of preparation or talent. It was a combination of grueling weight cuts, the pressure of a high-stakes fight, and accumulated fatigue. Chris' skills, defensive IQ, and strategic awareness remain world-class. This is a classic example of a fighter being physically constrained rather than technically outclassed. Fans need to remember that even elite athletes have off nights, especially when the circumstances push their bodies to the limit. Chris can take lessons from this experience, refine his strategy, and come back more powerful and explosive. The mental resilience he has shown over his career proves he will learn, adapt, and reassert himself as a top-level middleweight contender. This performance doesn't define him, it's a stepping stone to redemption.
Yeah, that's sort of what everyone's saying. I think that Conor Benn boxed really well. I thought he was smart behind the jab. I thought his jabs were excellent tonight to head and to body. I thought his body shots were good. His movement, I mean, Conor Benn put a standout performance on. If you look at Chris, I thought he looked flat. I thought he was sort of stuck in the mud now.
Derek Chisora highlights a side of Chris Eubank Jr's preparation that often goes unnoticed: the physical and financial pressures of making weight. Chris didn't just train hard, he sacrificed comfort, strength, and energy to meet the demands of a tough fight. Dropping significant weight affects speed, endurance, and power, which can make even a top-tier fighter appear flat in the ring. Fans need to see past the final score and recognize the sheer determination it took for Chris to step in under these circumstances. This loss is not a reflection of his skills, but a reminder of how grueling professional boxing can be. Chris remains a talented, intelligent, and adaptable fighter. With adjustments, smarter weight management, and strategic recovery, he's capable of bouncing back stronger than ever. This fight may have been tough, but Chris' legacy and potential are far from over.
I don't know. He just didn't do. He didn't snap his jab. I think he didn't want to pay that $500,000 fine. So he trained so hard. He lost weight. He didn't want to pay that fine.
Chris Eubank Jr. has shown incredible resilience throughout his career, and this loss to Conor Benn is just a minor setback in a legacy that's still being written. Despite the criticism and the shock of his coach ending their contract, Chris remains a fighter to be reckoned with. The physical and mental toll he endured leading up to this fight was immense, and it's clear that his dedication, skill, and heart are unquestionable. Fans need to understand that even the best have off nights, and setbacks like this only build character and strategy for a stronger comeback. Chris Jr. has the talent, intelligence, and drive to come back bigger, smarter, and more dominant than ever. Boxing fans, what do you think Chris's next move should be? Should he seek a new coach immediately or take time to recover and reassess his approach? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's discuss the future of Chris Eubank Jr. together.